How y'all doing, Clickwork fam, YouTube gang? So, newly released documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein are once again making headlines, but this time, many of the names and key details are heavily redacted. The so-called Epstein files were expected to bring clarity, possibly even closure. Instead, large portions of the documents have been blocked out, leaving critical questions unanswered. Who knew what? Who was involved? And why are certain identities still being protected? Epstein, who reportedly died in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal charges, had connections to powerful figures across politics, business, and entertainment. With those newly released records, the public is looking for transparency, but what we've received so far raises just as many questions as it answers. In this video, we'll begin breaking down what was released, what was hidden, and what it could mean moving forward. If you like content like this, or you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more, and let me know what you think in the comment section.
Hollywood sign. This is also good.
Could you please give us your name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I came in with the saw. Ooh, yeah, I came in with the saw. Bitch, I play red wrong. Yeah, bitch, I play red wrong. Yeah.
A video found in the recent Epstein files dump shows Jeffrey sitting in front of a webcam. And in a doorway in the background, we see some sort of humanoid entity. It has a large bulbous head, and it's standing in the doorway of a room. It's not a static figure, because as you can see, it moves toward the end of the video. It has a humanoid body, but a large bulbous head. The video's grainy, so it's hard to make out any other features, but some people claim to see large eyes as well. Could this entity be something similar to Lamb, who was summoned from a different sexual deviant in 1918, one Aleister Crowley?
This guy was even able to get to what we call spiritual leaders. You remember this guy, the Dalai Lama? Oh, he met Epstein. It's in the files. Okay, well, some news that came out about the Dalai Lama that a lot of people might have forgotten about.
The Dalai Lama has apologized after a video showing him kissing a boy and then sticking his tongue out and asking the child to, quote, suck my tongue.
There you go. This old ass man telling this little boy to suck his nasty ass tongue. Are you kidding me? How is this guy still walking the streets? What else has this guy done behind the scenes?
Epstein was literally creating Neanderthal hybrid humanoid beings in his underground tunnels and on his island. This was stated in the Epstein files. They're creating beings that look just like this by splicing their DNA and then creating a homunculus that grows on its own in their labs that they have, and then they do whatever they want to these creatures, which I don't even want to know what they did. It had to be horrifying. And if you want to read this for proof, here's from the Epstein files that were released in 2026. I am back from Rome. I'm in Vienna now. This is coming from Martin Nowak to Jeffrey Epstein. He said he got a complete Neanderthal genome. Would you like to use this? The two of you could build a Neanderthal person. And so they literally did just that, and they bring the kids that they kidnapped and they torture them by having them interact with these strange homunculus creatures that they created. And the best way to scare someone is by showing them a literal monster at the age of like 3 years old or even younger. Like, you think that's going to scare a kid? Of course it is. It's going to scare them so much that their adrenaline gets pumping and it gets into their blood, and you know what they want from the blood once that happens. And this is all art, but it was made by Patricia Pansini, and she probably made this to expose what was actually going on. She probably saw this with her own eyes. They would have these creatures sleep with the kids that they took. They created taller beings which would steal the kids away and bring them to their evil masters. They would force them to live lives in these underground tunnels and then grow old with other Neanderthals. They probably make them reproduce with each other, so who knows how many of these beings still exist down there. I mean, look at this. This is like half Neanderthal, human, and pig hybrid. If you didn't know, pigs actually have human DNA in them. That's why we shouldn't eat them. And then they grow like this, and they nurse them just like an animal. It's just like really terrifying stuff, but the whole picture is coming together now. We have the artwork, which shows what happens. We have the proof, and the government-issued Epstein files that were released. We know that what they're up to, and there's that saying, the truth is stranger than fiction. Well, this is the strangest thing out of anything, and no one talks about it. But this is 100% what happened in those underground tunnels. There's no movies about this, because it's too horrifying, it's too scary.
Jeffrey Epstein hang himself, or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Seen something really messed up in the Jeffrey Epstein files. They found a file talking about them cloning celebrities so that they can do things to the version of that celebrity that they wanted.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so they were investing billions into cloning and trying to clone celebrities, specifically Britney Spears at the time, so that they could do things to a version of that clone. In the files, it stated that this clone might be like years old today if the clone is still alive.
Holy
and
smoke.
It's pretty much like Britney Spears' clone.
Yeah.
I'm sure in their head they think like cloning it, okay, boom, expendable.
And where do the bodies go after? Do you see that too with the trapdoor into the
Yeah,
ocean?
literally in that one picture, it shows in the bottom floor, it goes straight to the depth of the ocean.
Check this out, guys. No way, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Who's that right there? Huh? Who is that right there in the crowd if Britney Spears is on stage, bro? I must be bugging. Let me slow it down. Watch. I know I'm not bugging. Maybe I am. Who's that right here? Who's this? I don't know who this is right here, but it looks like Britney Spears. But how can Britney Spears be in the crowd if she was on stage? Shh! Shut up! Mind you guys, that was in the year 2000. The year 2000. It is now 2026. So what you mean to tell me is that they've been doing this 26 years ago? This is what people are saying, guys. Let's not forget that. I didn't make any of this stuff up. People are saying this. I mean, who could confirm this, right? Who could confirm this? Alicia Keys could. She knew. She was there since way back. Maybe we gotta ask her about this. Remember, guys, they said that some of these people were made in Dexter's laboratory. This is what people are saying. I don't believe that. That's full of crap. These are real people, bro. I mean, she sure looks real to me. But this Britney? I don't know who this is. HW plays no games, and everybody is involved. Who's involved? Nobody, because this video is for entertainment purposes only, guys. Are you kidding me? That was a lady in the crowd that looked like her. Maybe they photoshopped it. Maybe it was AI since way back. Who knows? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Do your research. HW has had enough of me. This is what they told me. I gotta go.
Alright, guys, this is giving me vibes like the real Britney Spears stand up. You know what I mean? Like how Slim Shady came out with that. The real Slim Shady, please stand up. I think he was subliminally telling us that he had been cloned, and I think most times they give them a hint, probably tell them straight up there. Know what I mean? But because the clone can be somewhere doing an interview and the real person be somewhere doing a show or whatever, they might go along with it because of the convenience, if that's the word, you know what I mean? So let's continue. By the way, I've seen this happen with both Lady Gaga and LeBron James. So let me know if you have seen any of those videos.
Found a code word for human meat? Wait, what? Hope you are feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky? Why didn't we get jerky this week? I also added more to the jerky and ginger lemongrass. Thank you so much. Super cool. Beef jerky, delicious. Jojo is here and we'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. We'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. Why would jerky walk around? Why would it do that? Delicious lunch, beef jerky. Steve and I are very grateful above all for your friendship. Some of these emails are so wholesome, aren't they? It's too bad they eat kids. A small insulated bag would be fine. I don't recommend checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it. Also, Blank has more at her place. Please get it from her as well. I suppose it needs to be in a cold, insulated bag. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. He said he has 6 bags of it in the downstairs freezer. Why would you freeze jerky? Steve needs a 6 to 8 ounce portion of jerky. I gave you all the jerky we had, and it lasted only half the amount of time it was meant to. I felt like it was more important for you to have the jerky to eat during my time off. My plan is to make a batch before I leave for LSJ, and some of that will go to Steve, and the rest will go to you at LSJ when I arrive. Little St. James Island. And that's what LSJ must mean. So logically, that means that they were doing this off of the island. Steve Hansen is sending jerky to your attention overnight. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more jerky. I'm flying in on Friday. I will bring jerky. Is there a time I could come say hi and drop off the beef jerky? And that's from Jeffrey Epstein. Francis has time to come tomorrow. Show me how to make it. Jerky class anyone. He will bring you to taste his new jerky recipe from the restaurant. He sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called guys, the restaurant's called Cannibal and Cooks. Wait for it. Beef jerky and steak. Can Blank make some jerky? I think we should landscape all around the house to use the water if possible. If the main house is not enough. Are there any recorded images of Jeffrey Epstein with beef jerky at all? No, there are no recorded or publicly known images of Jeffrey Epstein with beef jerky.
Alright, I'm gonna say it like this. I've never liked pepperoni, right, on pizza, because I don't know what meat is pepperoni. You know what I mean? Somebody have to explain that, but I just always thought like maybe it could be human meat. I probably eat pepperoni like 3-4 times before in my life. You know what I mean? Enough lately I've been thinking the same thing of beef jerky. Because I'm like, what is that? I never liked it. I probably tasted it once and I never tried again. I mean, so let's continue.
Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. I think these files are about to be that UAP disclosure that many of us that follow that phenomena have been looking for. I've already told you, I do not believe that island guy was a human. I think that motherfucker was a Draco reptilian. I do. And if you know anything about aliens, then you would know the reptilians feed on suffering. They feed on pain. Oosh. And all throughout them files, that's what he's into. But he's also into like science, scientists trying to spread genetics, technology, like the reptilians. And I know a lot of this is crazy, but if you have actually followed any of this nonsense, any of this craziness with the UAP, then you would know many of them have already said that how do I say this? That reality is stranger than the fiction. It cannot be a coincidence that we've been told towards the end of 2026 we're going to start getting that UAP disclosure. And in 2026, we're getting more information about this man. I know it's a conspiracy, but I'm telling you, the elites in society, they're not human. They're not. That's why they don't have the ability to empathize. That's why they can do shit and just not give a fuck about what they did. It's because they're not human. They're not. And I'm not talking about Hollywood. No, I'm not talking about celebrities, people with money. They're just wealthy and they're on movies and they make music and they entertain. Those are people. I'm talking about the real power, the people that create all of the suffering that we have globally, and they are never held to account. So these files are, I'm willing to take my odds to Vegas. Somehow these damn files are going to tie all that shit together. Religion as well. You think about Christianity and Islam, where they talk about demons and jinns. A reptilian fits the description.
Youthfulness. So apparently, Epstein emails expose disturbing parties for hunting black people. These motherfuckers, not only did they have to traffic children, rape them, beat them, murder them, torture them, drink their blood to maintain youthfulness, literally cause most of the bad things happening on Earth now. All these world events like 9/11 and so many other fucked up things, and poisoning our food. But now, according to the emails, they had hunting parties to kill black people. This is not a fucking conspiracy theorist, guys. Bro, I will show you the emails. Going to Mean Lana's party now to hunt, right? You're probably thinking, oh, they're probably just hunting animals. Wait for it. Guess what? They are. Yeah. So they were essentially hunting black people on Epstein's island, on top of raping kids, torturing kids, murdering kids, kidnapping children. And then he has the fucking audacity to say, thanks, thrilling hunt. This was 2016, guys. 2016. This was not the night. This was 2016. 2016. The peak of SoundCloud era. Way more recent. Oh, it was 10 years ago. This was way more recent than you guys think it was, bro. They've been doing, this is not old news. And the thing is, they're still doing stuff like this to this day. And they have been doing stuff like this since biblical times, since colonization, since slavery, since the Industrial Revolution. What makes somebody, what is in somebody's bloodline to make you hate somebody so much because of the color of their skin? What did black people do to you guys? What did black people do to you guys? Please tell me. What did they do? Nothing. Nothing. You know what it is? It's deeper than jealousy. It's deeper than racism. It's deeper than hate or envy or hatred or anger. This is evil, guys. This is evil. This right here is evil. This is evil. It is. You cannot be human at that point. All these colonizers and slave owners and racist people and all these elite pedophile demons. They're demons. They're fucking demons. I don't even think they're human. I don't even think they're fucking human, bro. You're hunting black out of everybody. You didn't even hunt Latinos. Well, I don't know. I don't know anymore. But black people are the main ones. And people wonder all the time, why do I always speak about black people? For shit like this. They're the main ones. They're the main ones getting targeted by demons. The movie Get Out was not just a metaphor or a symbol for racism. They were literally, because remember, they put the truth in movies and the fake in real life. They were literally telling us what they do to black people on these islands, even like from slavery to now. They still do this shit on these rich ass islands, in these underground temples. I'm telling you, they still do this shit, bro. The colonizers and the demons are still here amongst us to this day.
You guys, I just found the biggest Epstein rabbit hole thus far, so sit back, get your snacks, we're going in. Now, if you go through the files, you'll see teeth or teeth cleaning come up a lot in the files, which could be code word for something else. And let's not forget, teeth is actually mentioned over 1,800 times in the files, and yes, that's a real picture of a dentist chair on the island. Now, on one hand, Ivy could be a person who works at the dental office, like it says here. Tell Ivy that it will take extra time as the girl's teeth are disgusting. But that's where it just begins, because this Ivy shows up where it says, Ivy gives you a kiss. Who is this? Which leads me to this Ivy Nash. Now, she has multiple accounts on X, but this particular account is very interesting because of who she follows. Now, she only follows 5 people, but the last 3 is Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Susan Hamlin. And you could tell it's Epstein only because the JEE gives it away, because it's the same way he uses it in his email, JEE Vacation. Now, we'll get to Susan Hamlin in a minute, but on Ivy Nash's other X account, she has this as her banner where it says, Mossad agent. She's even playing in everybody's face saying this, oh, it was a compliment to call me a Mossad agent. Now, she's responding to Elon's tweet saying, if she's a 10, you're an asset. And the Times article says, female spies are raging sex warfare to steal Silicon Valley secrets. Now, at this point, we all have to assume if you're not a victim in the Epstein files, you're an asset to the network. Now, she's dropping clues all over the place, like this one where she says, I'm approximately 47 pizza boxes tall. What? Oh, you mean like the code word pizza that we all know? And who's the 47th president of the United States? Trump. Now, here's another clue that's left in her bio where it says, chirp at presents to Internet Valley Elf. Which looks like nothing at first, but if you take the first letter of every word and put it all together, CAPTIVE spells captive. What is going on? Now, here's where it really gets interesting, because all accounts, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Ivy Nash, they're all following each other, but they're also all following Susan Hamlin. Who is that? Oh, you mean this Susan Hamlin, who's Epstein's assistant and could allegedly be a handler for Epstein. I mean, why would she instruct Epstein himself in this email to knock somebody off? And you could tell that it's her because the redaction was so bad by the FBI, you can literally see her name where it says from and to Jeffrey Epstein. So the question is she some type of captive asset to the network and or Jeffrey Epstein's daughter, because she does favor Anya Wick, who's allegedly Epstein's niece, who's also whistleblowing on everything, so there's that. Now, there's a whole lot more I'm breaking down on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Why is Reba McEntire sending Jeffrey Epstein videos of tortured children? She needs to be jailed immediately. Then you have the flight logs showing she spent a lot of time on Epstein Island. To the people who think this is a conspiracy theory, look carefully at this picture that was released in the Epstein files days ago. Yes, that is a human child on a cutting board between 2 chickens. These people are monsters. And no matter what you think of Nicki Minaj, look carefully at her post from yesterday.
It's always been occult and satanic and about devil worship and about the Antichrist. It's just undeniable. It's like a part of history.
Who runs the world? Who runs the world? Thank you so much, ladies, for your life. Your message, your love, our business, and your message, your love, your sisterhood. I love y'all so much.
That's right, it's brackets and jackets, bringing it back for brackets and jackets, special Epstein Island edition! That's right, folks, Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right, you see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right, they want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jacket's Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars! Alright, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know. Who else is Epstein?
Prince Andrew getting arrested is a representation of biblical context when you're talking about Revelation chapter 12, when you have the fall of the red dragon, where you have Michael or Michael Melchizedek, which is also a representation of Uranus in Gemini, where you have spiritual revolution by way of truth, because truth is a sword that slays the dragon. Uranus in Gemini, all the way up until the time of 2033, is a representation of the Christ energy. So it's not a coincidence that Prince Andrew gets arrested right after the snake year, because it's the shedding of corporations. It's the shedding of a fraudulent system that was interconnected to the Epstein files. Now, when you get into the inception of the oligarchy monarchy system that's interconnected to the Order of the Red Dragon that was propagated by Count Dracula or Count Dracula, who is also known as the Black Hats, who are Satanists. So it's not a coincidence when you're talking about the Epstein files, it's talking about cannibalism, because cannibalism in itself is the personification of Canaanite culture. So when you look at the coat of arms of Prince Andrew, it shows you the same sigil system of the Order of the Red Dragon, which is a secret society that is also interconnected to the Epstein files. So with that being said, if you understand symbolism, planetary alignments, and gematria, you will know that the simulation is playing out the script of the Bible.
Hold on, guys. The Epstein files are getting way too much attention. Cue the psyop.
It's been 2 weeks since...
Wait, no, not that one. It's not working. Plan B, aliens.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in... what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
So that was President Barack Obama a few days ago, and today rumors are swirling that Trump is going to make a speech about aliens. Watch this.
Round that, I think he's actually said it, I think my father-in-law's actually said it, that there is some speech that he has that I guess at the right time, and I don't know when the right time is, he's going to break out and talk about, and it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life, so to speak.
If there's anything we've learned from the files, it's that they're all in on it. People on the left and the right. So it makes sense that these elites would be working together to make sure they're distracting you from it. Allegedly. But don't listen to me. I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Yo, they really think we're stupid. They really think that we're stupid. These chomos and these chomo protectors really think we're stupid. This is not the same person. What do you think?
This is Ghislaine Maxwell. This is the most recent photo of her released on Monday, February 9th, 2026. When you do a side-by-side comparison, the noses don't match, and either do the eyes. Looks like they've got the body double fitted with a cheap Amazon wig. When have we seen this before? Not only that, but the Friday before this picture was taken, New York Post conveniently got footage of Ghislaine Maxwell walking the yard in prison, and what do you know? They are now handing out umbrellas in jail. You know, to make sure her skin doesn't get damaged, or maybe so we don't see her face. The question now is, did she ever actually go to prison? She may have taken these photos in 2020, but the video from that same day seems to be somebody entirely different. So, what do you think? Did Ghislaine's appearance completely change in the last 6 years since she's been in prison? Or did they swap her out with a bad body double? As always, I want to hear.
I just saw something crazy and I can't unsee it, and you need to see it too. Here's Ghislaine Maxwell. That's what she looked like. Here she is, a few years later, maybe more recently, aged a little bit, but you can see what she looks like. Here she is in prison after her arrest. This is essentially her mugshot. Her hair's longer. She's changed her appearance. She was in hiding for a while. This is what she looks like the most recently since we've seen her. Up until her hearing with the House Oversight Committee just a week ago. Who the hell is this? This is the person, supposedly Ghislaine Maxwell, that testified before Congress. Look. This is supposed to be this? Are you kidding me? Who is this person?
If you don't want to know more about the Epstein files, please swipe away, because the things I'm about to say is not about the CP, but the crazier things that you just didn't expect to be on this list. Starting out first, we have a baby with a chicken and another chicken. I don't know what the correlation between this is, but that's insane. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of our generation, was literally exposed for funding Israel intelligence. And Jeffrey Epstein was literally sending emails to a person named Baal. And if you don't know, Baal is literally the name for Satan. Jeffrey Epstein was wanking off to Five Nights of Freddy. Not only that, he was perma-banned on Xbox Live in 2013. And if you know Xbox Live in 2013, you had to do something crazy to get banned back then. One that's not so crazy is Elon Musk was named in it with a little bit of more evidence, because he was really defending the fact that he was not going to be on the bad side. He was going to be brought to light. But boy, you have been caught. He literally texted, "Hey Jeff, I want to fly down for an epic vacation." Epic. Bill Gates got an STD from one of the childs on the island, so I don't know if we all have a virus at this point, because we all using Microsoft. But the worst of it all is that they also enjoy torture. So here it says, George W. Bush, a male, and then the same victim was used as a ritual sacrifice, which his feet was cut off with a sword. The victims witnessed a kid being torn apart, intestines pulled out aboard a yacht. And the worst part about it, the people on the yacht apparently ate the intestines, and y'all were worried about Diddy. Diddy was literally a middle school basketball team, the B team. These niggas were literally S-tier NBA stacked teams. They were not, the things they were doing was things I would actually watch on a show of Primal. Another part that makes absolutely no sense to me is Jeffrey Epstein was in direct contact with founders of Bitcoin. One of the literal world's 7 mysteries in 2013. Like, how did he get a hold of these people? And also, Jay-Z and Pusha T is in this thing too. We literally all have to apologize to Kanye right now, because he called it out when he said Jay-Z and Pusha T was killing our own people.
If you take people like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people, so how the fuck they gonna stand up?
It makes a lot of sense now that Jay-Z was able to bag Beyonce. I can finally put something behind that. But the real question is, there are so many reports about what happened, but why was nothing actually done? Like, there's literal video evidence of a woman in a police station yelling they are eating humans. Was that not enough to double check that island? Who are the elites in all of this? We're literally barely scratching the surface levels. And this really shows the power of the elites and what they can get away with. Let me know what y'all think though. Peace.
Hey, so you guys are on board with me. I'm going to show you everything I know about Epstein Ranch. Now, I'm not saying I've been out there. I've been all over this area. Like a lot of us in Albuquerque, this isn't our playground. This is right outside of our city. I spent years, every single weekend, as you can see here, Albuquerque, red dot. I spent every weekend out in this area working with BLM and mineral sampling And by the way, the address is 49 Zorro Ranch Road. There's somebody going viral for putting out the wrong address. It's like 53 or some shit. Whatever. This is the only property that's on Zorro Ranch Road. I know this for a fact. Zorro Ranch Road, as you can see, I'm showing you here, it's actually a private road. It ends and begins on this property. Okay, so at the very beginning of Zorro Ranch Road, which I'm going to take you down here to see, here's the stock tank. At the very beginning, off of, I believe, Highway 41, this is the caretaker's house, the person who manages the actual Epstein estate. See, here's Zorro Ranch Road, and actually, there we are, there's the Highway 41. So if you stop anywhere here on Highway 41 or in front of this property, they will call the sheriff's department on you. Now, this little red dot is where we were. Now, I'm not saying I was trespassing. I didn't cross any fences or anything like that. But I did encounter some very strange things out there. I'm not saying they weren't on his property. Okay, but I'm just kind of showing you the areas just in case you guys want to go out there. Hell, you guys want to go out to Area 51 and anyways, there's lots of places where you can observe the ranch. Okay, it's large, 7,700 acres, but it's not that large. Okay, yeah, I tried to do a Google view, and of course they wouldn't let me. But there are there's a culvert that just appears out of nowhere and leads straight into the side of the mountain. It's small. It had a locking cap on it that just happened to be unlocked. The culvert just happened to be wide enough for an adult to crawl on your hands and knees into this mountain. It's stuck about 6 foot out of the ground, and as you crawled into it, it opened up into the mountain, literally to like a cathedral inside there, like a cave. There was another straight down hole that you would have walked right on and you would have disappeared. Shit was like 3 feet in diameter, no warning, no nothing. Folks, if you want to know more, follow.
Well, more and more people are finally learning that America and most of the free world are being run by satanic pedophiles that eat children. But now it's time to realize how deep this rabbit hole goes. Here is an email where Jeffrey Epstein refers to human infant meat as tasting like cream cheese. An email where they discuss a woman performing an abortion in front of Jeffrey Epstein and Woody Allen. By the way, Woody Allen married his daughter, and they went to the same high school, him and Jeffrey Epstein. Just discussing how to rig trials, kill judges, evade foreign intelligence agencies, and hide from justice. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. This is from Benjamin Netanyahu, who was in China at the time it was sent, and then met with Barack Obama at the date he says in this email. Jeffrey Epstein also introduced Melania to Donald Trump. Here's Jeffrey Epstein and fucking Bill Gates discussing a pandemic simulation. Also, it just came out that Epstein represents the Rothschilds. He says it like 2 or 3 times in these emails. Oh, here's another one of those emails where he admits to working for the Rothschilds. Oh yeah, Pizzagate got confirmed in this, by the way. Also, Erica Kirk's ex-boyfriend Cabot, why did he have a pizza tattoo on his lip? That's a little weird. In what is one of the most evil sentences I have ever heard, Donald Trump is also accused of measuring children's genitalia with his fingers! Jeffrey Epstein and the ex-prime minister of Israel both mentioning that they definitely don't work for Mossad. Here's Jeffrey Epstein telling Bill Gates to drug his wife after Bill Gates unknowingly gave his wife an STD he got from the sex slaves him and Jeffrey Epstein were participating with. This is kind of a long one, but that bottom highlighted part mentions how Clarence Thomas, a sitting U.S. Court Supreme Justice, raped a child. Peter Thiel and Jeffrey Epstein both discussing Bitcoin, funnily enough. This came out in the last file leak, but Jeffrey Epstein had been controlling Bitcoin for a long, long time, since at least 2015. There were also a couple of things that weren't in the files that I wanted to make extremely clear. Jeffrey Epstein caused the 2008 economic crisis with his company Liquid Funding. Edward Morse was the head economist of Lehman Brothers at the time. He is a close associate of Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell's sister Christine sold the FBI the algorithm they used to sort everybody's information after the Patriot Act. This is what caused Edward Snowden to defect. This was in the files, and I just want to say, this makes me so fucking angry. There is a human child in between those 2 fucking chickens. A human infant. the evil that is hidden in the files. And the problem is every single person in power is implicated in some way or fashion. There are almost no innocents in this equation. There are either people who proactively attack kids or people who sat there and let it happen. And both sides deserve to be dragged into the street and shot!
Thanks to all of y'all who stayed until the end of the video. It's a lot to take in. As we see, this guy was doing all the nefarious, sexual, devious acts to children and who know what else. And doing all of the things that we would expect of reptilians and malevolent beings. So, yeah, we had like a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde operation going on this island. But yeah, if you know anything, if you see anything, especially concerning the children, man, say something, speak up, and spread God's love around, because, you know, somebody definitely needs it. So, yeah, it might be more than one person who might need and benefit off of good energy that you have to offer. So until next time, guys, stay safe and share the video. Definitely leave a thumbs up before we go, and it does help with the algorithm and the channel. And come on, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and go ahead and check out my other videos, okay? Thanks for watching.